Guys, how you doing? This is Malat Ghasil speaking. Don't mind my hair. It's just like that. It's always like that. Um, but yeah, the first thing I want to say is I failed the challenge. And when I say I failed the challenge is that I try to do it so many times throughout the month, but I just kept failing. The longest stretch I went without smoking was the first week of Ramadan, where I just didn't smoke and then I smoked. And then another like 3 days went by and then I smoked the fourth day. And that just kept happening to me throughout the whole month. And I feel like shit because I failed. Um, and now that the Ramadan's nearing the end, I think the last day should be Wednesday. I just want to officially say that I failed the challenge. Okay, I failed it. I want to do it again just so I don't feel like a complete failure. I want to complete it, not in Ramadan, maybe next month. But yeah, I did fail the challenge, and I'm sorry to say that, but that's just the way it is. Anyways, the topic I want to talk about today is essentially do what you tell people to do. Not don't just say stuff, right? So, in life, a lot of people, not a lot of people, everyone's gonna give you advice. Like I'm giving you advice right now. Like who the fuck am I? Why should you listen to me? Like I talked in my previous videos about like saving, investing in stocks, investing in cryptocurrency, and like my opinion about things. But why should you listen to me? I try my hardest to give advice about stuff that I actually do myself, right? So when it comes to like saving and like what percentage goes into saving, what percentage goes to debt, what percentage goes to investing, or like I follow my advice about paying the high interest debt before anything really, before investing, before any of that. Like I follow what I say when it comes to that stuff, and I try my hardest to just follow what I tell people to do. Um, if it comes to fitness or how I eat or stuff like that, I try my hardest. But in life, most people don't. Most people just say their opinion and that's it, right? And I just want you guys to understand that if you are that type of person that just says stuff for the sake of saying stuff, you want to give advice, and hey, maybe the advice is right, maybe the advice is really good advice, but if you don't do it yourself, no one's gonna take you seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, let's say the advice that you're giving someone, is a super difficult thing to do. If you're not doing it, then why would the other person be motivated enough to do it? Because sometimes when you tell someone to do something and you don't do it, they'll just listen to you and be like, "Ah, okay, that's fine. That's good advice. Thank you." But when you tell someone to do it and then you do it yourself instead of just telling people to do it, then they'll have respect for you and it'll motivate them to do it too. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like a boost for them. So your advice isn't just going in one ear and going out the other. It's actually good advice because you're doing it yourself. You're showing people that, hey, I told you to do it and I'm doing it too. Like it's good advice. If I'm doing it, then it's good enough for me, right? So it should be good enough for you. Stuff like that, it motivates people and it makes you not look like a hypocrite. Like if you tell someone not to smoke, like that's really good advice. Don't smoke. But if you still smoke, then why should the person listen to you? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm smoking, right? And I'll tell people not to smoke because it's a bad thing. But I completely understand if no one's gonna listen to me because I'm still doing it. So why would anyone listen to me? It's just the way life is. Even though it's still good for them to listen to that advice, it's still good advice not to smoke. But if you're not following your own advice, why would other people follow your advice? And that's the core of what I'm trying to say here. Um, I can't really add anything else other than more examples, but you guys have lived your own life. You guys have seen those types of people who just give you advice for the sake of giving you advice or give you advice without like following their own advice. and they kind of sound like hypocrites. So you guys have your own examples. I don't need to tell you anymore. But yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say. This has been Malad Ghasil. Hope you have a nice day. Peace.